If a political action is not recorded, then it did not really happen. We need to photograph our activities to show them to other people. Political activity is an act of communication. By sharing images of our activities on social media, local groups, and local media, we multiply our communication. This is about taking photographs that are good for Facebook and all that, but most importantly, local media, local newspapers. Now, a local paper is unlikely to pay a photographer overtime to photograph your stall on a Saturday morning. But when you send them some news release, you are infinitely more likely to see it used if you send a selection of reasonably good quality photos. Do not be intimidated by this. I'm not going to try to teach you to be an expert photographer, just offer a few tips that will enable you to take some of the kind of images that a paper will want to actually print. Taking your own photographs should be seen as an advantage. It means that you are totally in control of that image. Before we talk about cameras, let us think what we want to be in that image. How do we want to depict ourselves? And the photo must show that we're a group of people who want to leave the European Union. Okay, bearing those considerations in mind, let's get a camera. Or get someone with a camera. But even if they are really quite an accomplished photographer, there are some special considerations for photos for the local paper. Local papers like a certain kind of photo, and it is not always what good photographers like to take. Your camera doesn't have to be anything posh, just a decent quality digital camera. Maybe a compact, maybe an old DSLR, or a modest modern DSLR will provide wonderful results. Well, maybe not this one because it's Roberts. If you still have the instruction book, please read it. If you have time, read a basic book about photography. Importantly, learn how it focuses. This is important because the most common problem is when we take photos of two people and the autofocus finds a space between them and focuses on the distant trees. Come on, we've all done it. On almost all cameras, you can either set it to focus on the nearest thing, on many to actually find faces and to focus on them, or you can do it the old-fashioned way, and almost all cameras do this, is to focus on what you want with that little red dot for the autofocus, hold the button halfway down, then move the frame to where you want that to be, and then push the button. Or of course you can just do the whole thing manually. The next thing is to hold it steady. Now that may sound obvious, but even modern digital cameras take an awful lot more light than you think to take a nice, crisp, sharp photo. And you don't have a tripod. If it is bright, you'll be okay. But stand still and hold your camera firm, or use something like a beanbag to steady it on a wall or a post. Henri Cartier-Bresson is supposed to have said, "Sharpness is a bourgeois concept." Well, your photo really must be pin sharp. Once you've managed that, you really are in with a chance. A newspaper needs a certain type of photo, and they need a selection. If you're laying out a page, you might need a tall, thin photo to fill a space, a normally proportioned rectangular photo, or, maybe less likely, a wide one to go across the top of a page. So, think of a full-length photo of a photogenic activist, plus a group. Local newspapers love groups. Now this bit is important. Photos in local papers have a particular style, which does not come naturally, and it doesn't come naturally to a lot of good photographers. Groups of people have to be uncomfortably close to each other to look right in a photograph. If your group is at a stall, you need the word leave visible. This is why we keep telling people to have their leave banner up high, so that the stall has something above head height. Too high for photo? Take a shot from low down. Get low, get the angle right. so that you have the word leave not too far above people's faces. Now be careful of other writing in your shot. This famous one of Lady Thatcher, the word behind her was forward. Be very careful when you're in places like Scunthorpe. Take care of posts sticking out of people's ears, that sort of thing. Tell people to say, Lord Rose is our hero, or something to get a laugh, or some animation in people's faces. Make sure no one is looking at their shoes, or somewhere they should not be looking. Take a few. Remember, it's digital. It doesn't cost you any money for extra photos. And take different ones, a variety. People stood in different ways, different places. You can select the best, but when you do get home to select your best ones, be quick about it, because the newspaper needs those photos quickly. And be very strict. Do not send every photo you've taken and place a burden on the picture editor. You choose which one you think shows your group the best and send them those ones. Have a look at your local paper. Have a look at what style they like and try and offer them something in that style. The more people see your activity, the more people get the message.